My video for December 21st, 2017 is entitled Promised Defeat of the Fed, and We Still Wait. To me, the so-called Federal Reserve is a big fraud. One of many lies we have been told by the demons who operate the world as their own fiefdom. The Fed is neither federal nor a reserve. It is a private conglomerate of international bankers who have been running roughshod over human rights for over 100 years in the United States. And those same cosmic criminals have created one scam after another for millennia of human existence. People don't like it when I say this, but it is the result of Creator God allowing fallen angels to violate the alleged principle of free will and enslave humanity. When people say, quote, it's up to us to change it, end quote, I keep asking, how? They not only have weapons they use against us, they have been able to limit us through various brainwashing techniques that keep us from even being able to see the bigger picture. Yes, many are apparently waking up, yet the criminal cabal that runs the Fed still seems to operate with impunity. Chemtrails are still in the sky almost every day where I live. To me, that's a sure sign that we still have to wait for positive change that will free us and finally usher in the kingdom of heaven for us earthlings. Once again, I woke up at 2 o'clock, but I went to bed 2 hours earlier last night than the previous night, and I was able to fall asleep more quickly. So this is a good thing. But I've been wrestling, like so many of my friends, with issues that we face that are very, very challenging, especially when we've been promised real change. Not change that we can believe in, but change that we can experience. And there are those that say, well, you're not getting it because you don't really believe it. As if we're supposed to keep believing something despite alternate realities, or I shouldn't say alternate realities, I should say the reality that we actually face is so horrendous and so difficult to break through. How are we supposed to develop faith when everything in our world destroys that faith? I mean, it's not about religion. I've come to that conclusion. I've realized that religion is also, just like the Federal Reserve, it's also part of the scam. Oh yes, there's truth in all of the religions. I'm not going to debate that, as I've said in many other videos. However, all of the religions have made us less than. All of them have separated us from our highest good, or from God, or from Creator, whatever you want to say. Anastasia is the only one that I've read in my lifetime, read about in my lifetime, that actually tells the truth and is actually able to be stronger than the weapons formed against her. When they tried to kill her, she was able to put up an invisible shield that the bullets just simply bounced off. Could I do that? If I could, I'd like to have some sign. I wouldn't want to test it with actual bullets, but some way that I could know that I've actually been empowered, and that the parts of my being that have been tuned out and turned off would be reestablished, so that I would have the ability to exercise those gifts that were, as I see it, part of the original creation, but were subverted when the fallen angels that I mentioned in the blurb were able to control a planet. And apparently they've been playing this game not just on Earth, but on other planetary bodies. One that supposedly blew up between Earth and Mars, creating the what call it, belt. Anyway, I can't remember the term. Isn't that? I don't like it when that happens, because I know what I want to say, but the word just doesn't come. In any case, folks, I am tired and I'm frustrated. And people say, Ron, be patient, be patient. Well, I'm 71 years old. I keep doing things to stay as healthy as I possibly can. I don't take medicine, and I refuse to take medicine. I try to eat as healthy as a diet. I don't eat a lot of things that I believe have been adulterated with poisons. I try to, as much as I can, have a decent diet, and I try to do things that are healthy and promote my health and longevity. But I still have feet that are numb, and I can't seem to shake that after over 2 years of having that problem. I still have to walk with somewhat of a limp because one foot doesn't have a lot of sensation in it. I can feel it, but if I put a pin in it, yeah, I can feel that. But there's still a numbness there. And there's a numbness in both feet. But as I've said in other videos, it's way worse on the right side where I had my stroke than it is on the left side. So I struggle. And I have friends that I communicate with who also struggle, who have challenges in their lives that seem sometimes almost insurmountable. We somehow manage to get through, but we don't get through in a way that uplifts and empowers us to the point that we feel that we are finally free at last. You know, that's what we need. We need freedom. And it's going to take people of vision to be empowered. If the change has to come in a progressive manner, there has to be a point at which people like me, and there are many others, are empowered to do the right thing and to change the way things operate. I'd like to see it happen with the click of a fingers, but that might not be reasonable. That's why we look for the currency revaluation, in which everything is no longer just money printed out of thin air, where $100 bill is no more valuable in intrinsic value than a $1 bill, for example. They're both just pieces of paper with printing on it that are backed by absolutely nothing. This is the kind of thing that the Fed has put in place. It's the kind of thing that the criminals have done to keep us impoverished and enslaved, while they can live high on the hog and seemingly be wealthy. But we are not wealthy. They seem to hold the power. We are not powerful. There are so many things that are challenging us. Some would say to grow. But how do you grow when you don't know how to use the talents, gifts, and abilities that they say we're supposed to have? This is the challenge that many of us face. And I'm not going to lie and pretend. They say, fake it till you make it. No, that's a lie. And I don't want to live lies. I want to tell the truth. And the truth is, my experience is what I know to be real, because I'm experiencing it as real. It doesn't matter if I frame it as an illusion, which I've tried to do. That's just a cop-out that doesn't allow me to experience real change that makes me a dynamic individual, able to overcome anything that's thrown at me, as Anastasia did when they tried to shoot her. She was able to put up a shield. I'd like to be able to put up a shield, not only just a shield, but I'd like to stop these lying fallen angels from exercising any control over humanity anywhere in the universe. Thank you for listening, and namaste.